Morning, Keith. Morning, Reading Tiger. All right, guys. I just kind of waiting here for a couple of minutes for folks to join. I do have the risk disclosure up on the screen here, so you can review in the meantime. We'll start here in the next couple of minutes or so. Hey, Fuzu. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started here, guys. Just going to start just kind of with a paraphrase of the risk disclosure. Um, just to inform everyone that the market trader and myself, the information I'm about to provide is really to be treated as general information only. I'm not here in any sort of investment advisory kind of capacity. I'm not here to recommend or advise you to offer or solicit to you to offer, buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, instrument, or fund. We all understand that futures just carry a fair amount of risk, and that it's not for every investor. Okay, and that we should only be using risk capital money that we can otherwise afford to lose without jeopardizing one's lifestyle should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Okay, again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation to offer, buy, sell futures, options, or forex. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay. So now that I have the risk disclosure out of the way here, guys, let's go ahead and move into the news portion of this. Okay, we want to take a look at the news and see what we have in store. And one thing that comes to mind right away is the crude oil inventories, right? Crude oil inventories for those who trade crude oil. Again, these are Pacific Standard Time here. Okay, so at 10:30 Eastern Time, we will have the EIA crude oil report. Okay, we have some pretty important financial news that are coming up here at let's say 9:45. Okay, we have PMI coming in. We have some manufacturing numbers coming in. We have home sales coming in at 10 a.m. And we have some notes. Actually, these are all lesser kind of events here that follow. So fair amount of news up until pretty much up until 10 a.m. Eastern. Okay, so we want to be conscious of those and plan accordingly, and adjust and our positions, potentially even sit out. I would say certainly for the EIA report, and then for equities, I would say certainly for gold and these other instruments that we cover, the home sales and the PMI is also probably something that we want to sit on the sidelines for as well. Okay. All right. So now that we've gotten through the news here a little bit, we're going to go ahead and start with our charts. Okay. So we'll start our normal chart. I'm going to go ahead and turn off some things here and see. We've got a bunch of lines that I've drawn here. Okay. So let's start off with the daily chart. Okay. And again, we always want to ask ourselves the same question. what is the market trying to accomplish? Okay. Now, if I just gave you this portion of it, right? Well, you can tell me that we're looking to head higher, right? In the greater context, okay, we want to understand whether, are we making higher highs and higher lows? Well, if I start here and move my way across, I've started to make higher highs and higher lows, right? It's kind of flat in this area here. But since then, we made higher highs and higher lows, right? We have, a series of candles here that it was a little bit of a pullback, but nonetheless did not break anything significant in the way of structure. Okay. We still have not, I guess maybe you could argue that we've made a lower low here, but for the most part, the market is still looking to head higher. Okay. We have a series of bullish candles that we've had, okay, of late, and they've been both supported with some buy volume. Okay, so on the daily chart, we have to say that the market is looking to head. Structure indicates that we want to head higher. Now, if we get below, say 23.59, then my view of this would probably change a bit. Okay, but for now, we are above that area and making these higher highs and higher lows. So the daily chart looks bullish to me. Okay. All right. Looking at the 4-hour chart. Okay. You can ignore the lines. The lines will become important when we start to look at the 30-minute chart. But again, we want to ask ourselves a question here. Okay. Now, if we start over here, right, we would say that, okay, we're looking bearish in the market. But now we're starting to break some structure here. Okay. Starting to break some structure to the upside, right? You can see here we've broken some resistance here, closed above this. We look at these series of candles. They all indicate that they want to go higher. Now, the interesting thing about all of this is there's a large runway, right, for price can go before we start to get into some resistance here. Okay, so there's a lot of runway for price to move. There's nothing here that's visible to me that would indicate to me that there is any sort of major resistance for any continuation move to the upside. Okay. The next, I guess, 4-hour kind of supply zone or resistance zone is, right around this settlement price from 1, 2, 3, 4 days ago. All right. Up here at 24.55.7, maybe as high as 24.60 is probably the first area that we see where we have some potential resistance in this market. All right. So 30-minute chart. Okay. 30-minute chart. This is where we kind of start to capture our levels here, guys. I'm going to kind of stretch this out. Now you can understand, see what some of these lines are about here. Okay. I'm going to move this down here. Okay. So these lines are indications of value area high, value area low, and point of control. All right. And then, moving these lines across the page here gives me clear visibility of what these numbers lie here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and cut and paste our levels. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and start to draw. Okay. So, and we'll double confirm the numbers, especially when it comes to the average session range numbers. Okay. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and start with the volume profile. We're going to locate the start of yesterday's session, drag that across to today, and there's our value. There's our volume profile. Okay. We're going to go ahead and open up ADR to the upside. Okay. We're going to kind of double confirm that we have that correct here. So we're going to look here. So it looks like it's, what is that? 24.29. Okay. So 24.29 average daily high. Let's see. We have average daily low. Okay, average daily low at looks like 23.92. There it is, 23.92. Now, the next one that often is I guess a bit squirrely is average session range. Okay, so average session range we have on the bottom side we have 2404. Looks like 2404.8. So average session range low. Okay, so that's adjusted here. So 2404.8. Okay, is on the low side. Okay, 2404.8. So we're gonna where is it? Average. So 2404.8. Okay, is average session range low, and then on the top side we have looks like 2432 average session range high. Okay, so 2432 is our average session range high. Okay, so okay, now that we've I guess confirmed some of these numbers here, so what is the market trying to what kind of hypos I guess is kind of what kinds of things should we be looking at? Or okay, so we have, let's open up initial balance here. Okay, so initial balance is developing here as we speak. All right. We're at the top end of the range. So we are above value, again, indicating that we should be looking for opportunities to the upside. But this is probably not the best of areas necessarily to look for a opportunity to the upside. Right, we're at the extremes on the high end. Okay, so this is probably not the cheapest of places to be looking for longs in this market, right? So where should we be looking? Well, we should be looking maybe at the lower end, right? Maybe initial balance low, maybe down the VWAP. Okay, would be some bullish areas that we want to kind of take a look at the market here. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my anchor VWAP. Okay, and I'm going to use let's use London. Okay, switch to midnight. Okay. We'll use that as our anchor. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Oop, that's even less. Okay, I wanted to get rid of this here. All right. So let's locate the midnight and let's locate the London session here. Okay, so this is the London session right here. So we'll take a look at the VWAP here. So like I said, VWAP, this area along here would be a logical area. You can see that we broke some resistance here. This area here at 2415.7 would be a nice logical location to participate in a potential long. Not the nice thing about this is that it allows us to manage our risk, right? We take far less risk on the trade if we're looking at a pullback level such as VWAP. Okay, so that would be maybe a couple of bullish scenarios in the gold market. Okay, around anchored VWAP or daily VWAP. Okay, or maybe on the low end of initial balance. Maybe we take a peak below here. Okay, and it could end up creating a little bit of maybe a failed auction to the downside. Okay, hey DX, good morning. Okay, so that's kind of some of the bullish scenarios. Okay, if I'm bearish, okay, then I need to look at some of these upper numbers, right? So we have 24.1, 24.21 as an area. We have the ADR zone up above us. We have we have average session ranges here, right? We have the average daily range and the average session range. We're way away from that. Okay. But those areas could offer us some logical locations to potentially fade this move. Okay. So going into the market, going into the gold session, we are kind of on the upper end here. So what I'm going to be looking for is some sort of pullback, maybe I don't know if this particular move was somewhat news generated here, but I'm going to be looking for some levels here at the, kind of a pullback level that would offer me an opportunity to take this market long. Okay. So that's pretty much what I have for the gold market. I'm going to make a couple of updates here to my numbers here. So let's see, average session range adjusted here to, so average session range high was 2432, 2432. Okay. Let's make some adjustments to my spreadsheet. Okay. So copy this here. Actually, let's move this whole thing here. Just making some adjustments, guys, and then we'll move on to the crude oil market. Okay. So my average session range low is 2404. So 2404.8. Okay, so this goes up here. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at the crude oil market. All right. So we're going to go ahead and move into this here. Okay. So the same kind of analysis that we've done here. I'm going to turn off some of these lines, kind of clutters here a little bit. Okay. I'm not going to, we have our levels already kind of posted here on the right. I believe those are the most recent. So let's take a look at the daily, ask ourselves the same question. Okay. What is the market trying to do? Okay. Well, of late, again, if I just move the chart over here like this, okay, well, we can all see that we're trying to make lower lows and lower highs. Okay. Market is somewhat bearish. Okay. In crude oil. All right. Now, where would be a logical area? It looks like we are exceeding some of these levels to the downside. Okay. We are developing somewhat of an inside candle on an area of prior support. So this could be an area where while we are in bearish structure, this could be an area where crude oil could potentially rally a bit. Okay. Based on what I'm seeing here and based on the location of the of price. Okay, so if we do manage to get below this level, we have, a solid close. Now we have looks like we do have a close, but we have an inside candle tape. If we do get below that, then we start opening up the price to 75 and maybe as low as 72. Okay, is kind of what I'm seeing in the crude oil market on the daily chart. Okay, for now, where it looks like we are developing some bearish structure to the downside. Okay, we are in an area of demand though, so that we have to be wary of that. All right. For our chart. So for our chart, again, starting from left to right, you can see that we have some structure, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower low, lower high, and then we continue in that vein. Okay. So again, nothing on the 4-hour indicating that we are breaking some significant structure to the upside. On the contrary, looks like we are continuing to kind of create some structure to the downside. Okay. If we do get above, let's say 78.56, maybe that is kind of would be our first indication that maybe we are getting a little bit of bullish structure, but we need to break this level first to consider that. So 78.56 or 78.66 is an important area for me in the crude oil market. All right. So let's go ahead and where is my levels? Go back to the daily. Let's find my levels here. So we'll move this over here to the top. And we'll go ahead and 30-minute chart. Okay. All right. Here we are. Okay. So we'll keep this over here to the right, and we'll expand our chart here as best we can. And try to keep both of these things in view. All right, so a little better. Okay. All right, so this is our volume profile. Okay, the number that I'm going to check here right away is our average session range because those tend to adjust. So we have on the top side, we have average session range high at 77.99. Okay, 77.99 is our top side number. Okay. And then on the bottom, we have, what is that? 76, 69, somewhere in that range. Average day, 76.69. Okay. 76.69. Okay. So those are our average session ranges here. So I'm going to adjust some numbers here. We got 77.99 here. Okay, so we have this number here. Just making some adjustments on my spreadsheet here, guys, and then we'll talk through the numbers. Just want to make sure that I got those numbers correct before they okay. So average session range high, and then our average session range low is 76 69 here. So let's see, average session range low. $76.69 is our average. Okay. All right. Get rid of this. And we'll get rid of this. And we will move this up. All right, so I got those numbers updated. So let's take a look at this. So I have all my numbers here. We are getting a little bit of a reaction here off this average session range high. Okay, the market has technically not opened yet, but it looks like we are going to open up above value. I'm gonna draw this in as blue, guys. That's value for me is blue. Point of control is red. Value area low is blue. Okay. So as long as we stay above value, all right, we have to look for opportunities to the upside. Value area high here at 77.49 could offer us an opportunity, right, for an upside move in this market. You can see that we've been in a kind of a, how we say, higher highs, higher lows. Okay, we are above value. So from a 30-minute chart, I was saying to you that we were at a demand level on the daily. Okay, well, this looks like that maybe we want to take the market a bit higher. Okay, the fact that we've broken, or not broken, but reached ASR is a positive indication that we could see higher prices. We have ADR above us as well. Okay, so for this market, again, value area high, VWAP. We have a couple of confluences there that will support an upside move in the market here. Okay, if I am somewhat bearish, well, I'm at a level now. The question is, can I break some structure to indicate that they want to take price lower? Okay, so if I can get price below 77.44, below VWAP, inside value, then maybe I get a full rotation of value. Okay, that would be kind of a bearish scenario using ASR as our reference level. Bullish scenario we've already spoken of. I'm going to go ahead and draw my anchored VWAP down at this level. Okay, So this would be another level right around point of control. This could be another area where we could see some bullish price action or a bullish opportunity. Okay. So we have a couple of locations, value area high, point of control, and we have a lot of confluence down here at value area low. Okay. We have ADR, ASR, value area low. This level here, 76.74. Very nice level to think about taking long here. Okay. All right. I think that's it. We got our levels. Okay. So we have, I think, some hypos that we can consider here. Taking a look to see if there's any questions. I do not see them. All right. So we'll go ahead and move on to the equity market. Okay. So we'll go ahead and shut this down. We'll locate the our equity market, and the equity market of choice for everyone is the NASDAQ. Okay. So again, just in the interest of making sure I get the right numbers here, before I go start doing my daily review here, let me double confirm my ASR numbers here, because those are going to get reported here shortly. So I got 20,084.75 is my high end. And then was that 19,831 looks like on the low end. Okay, so we're good. Okay, so let's start with our, let's make sure I capture this here. Let's start with the daily. Again, ask ourselves the question, what is the market trying to accomplish? Well, again, guys, if I move this over to the left, what is the market trying to accomplish? Well, the market is trying to go lower, right? We have some structure, lower high, lower lows. We've broken potentially a daily structure here. So this could be rather significant, move. If we manage to close below, that opens up this area here for to be revisited. Okay, 19,300, maybe as low as 18,890. All right, that's kind of what we're looking at. You see here, we're starting to see that we're breaking some structure. All right, some support here. Right, this was initially supportive, but did not last for very long. Or now we're kind of breaking structure to the downside. If this holds true, okay, we could be headed for lower prices in the NASDAQ. Okay, 4-hour chart. Okay, for our chart, again, we're seeing the same kind of sequence that we've seen and that we've talked about, right? Lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. Okay, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. So we continue in this structure to the downside. Nothing on the 4-hour is indicating that the market is headed higher. Okay, now we could take a peek above and rally from here, no doubt. Okay, kind of bait people to kind of take a short and then have the market kind of rally against us. Okay, if I'm going to be short on this market, I do not want to be at the bottom of the range. Okay, I'd like to be up maybe by value area high, or maybe this level that I've drawn here, this demand, what used to be demand, is now going to be resistant. Okay, so this level here at 19,677.75 could be an area where I could participate in a move. I have a reference level. This prior support level as an area for me to support the move, support the trade. Okay. All right. So that's on the 4-hour chart. Let's get our levels here over in an area where I can see them, and then we'll move on to the 30-minute chart. All right, 30-minute chart. Where are my levels? There they are. Okay, let's stretch this out here a bit so that we don't lose context here too much. Okay, get the proper context, I should say. Okay, so all right. Okay, we're going to turn off some of these things, and we've already gone ahead and drawn in our volume profile. Let's get this in a place where we can see it. Okay, there we are. Last little adjustment here, and let's see, get down to where we are currently. Okay, so we can see, all right, we can see that based on where the volume profile is, that we're below it. So there's a lot of bearish, I would say bearish action a lot of shorts in the market at the moment. Okay. So based on volume profile, market sentiment is lower or bearish. Okay. Let's go ahead and open up ADR here, see where that falls. We've already exceeded ADR to the downside. Hey, squeeze. Okay. We've already exceeded ADR to the downside. So again, that could be an indication of a potential sustained move to the downside. We had a gap, right? We had a gap open lower. Okay. So indicating that we didn't have any interest in these levels above, right? So again, a lot of bearish pressure right now in the market. All right. Let's open up ASR and see where that leaves us. Okay, so ASR even we're both below both. Okay, so we're below both these levels again. Again, providing us evidence that we are in a market that wants to head lower here. Let's go ahead and open up my EMA. So yeah, everything is pointing to lower prices. All right. Now the question is, where would I want to participate? Okay, for a potential move to the downside. Well, let's see where is my VWAP. Okay, so my VWAP would be a logical location here. This blue line here. Let's turn off some of these ASR zones and ADR zones. Make this a little bit more visible here. So yeah, we're on the lower end. Okay, kind of extended to the downside here. Okay, so any sort of rally back up to VWAP could serve as a nice location. 19,721.75 could offer us a nice location to participate in a further move to the downside in the NASDAQ. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm seeing there. Okay. So yeah, VWAP, I'm going to go ahead and take this pivot above. Remove this line here. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. This line. Okay, let's keep this one line here. Probably use this. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and draw in my anchored VWAP at the most logical pivot location. Okay. And the most logical pivot location for me is this location up above here. Okay. So this happened at the start of the session, early in the session yesterday. Okay. So this is another area, right, where it could serve as an area for me to participate to the downside. So we have this daily VWAP that could offer us an opportunity. Price around settlement price could also offer us an opportunity. Now we could easily come back up. Okay, we are a bit extended to the downside. We could easily rally up to settlement price before we start to see any significant push to the downside. So this is relatively good area to think about maybe a long in the market. All right. We can manage our risk here, right? We are developing a little bit of a 3-bar reversal pattern. Okay. If this 30-minute bar holds true and is bullish, okay, in the next 25 minutes or so, then we could potentially expect maybe a little bit of a rally in the market. All right. Given the amount of sellers that we have in the market at the moment. Okay. All right. Let's see. So I think we've already double confirmed our ASR zones. Just going to spot check. So 19,967.50. That holds true. 19,965 is our, actually, yeah, looks about right. 19. Yeah, about right. Our point of control. Settlement price also coming in at 925. That's all good. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see, where's my, okay, well, I can't locate it at the moment. Okay. So so again, right here, this would be good levels for potential buy. Okay. At least a cheap buy. Okay. At least we are able to manage our risk. Okay. But that's not to say that, we have to also understand that it is a structure that's moving to the downside, right? So our expectations for this move have to be muted, right? We could really only expect a move back to VWAP, right? That's the extent of this potential move. Now, if we do close above it, and break some structures to the upside, then it starts to open up maybe this area, maybe as high as anchor VWAP or settlement price. Okay, nice runway. Okay, nice path back to settlement price with some bumps along the way. Okay, we have this area structure, this area of structure that could offer some resistance for a move back down. Okay. All right. Taking a peek here to see if there's any questions. I'm not seeing any questions here on the Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq appears to me a bit bearish. Okay. So we need to look for, good location. Okay. Now, a good location for bears is not at the bottom of the range. We're paying retail here. If I'm a bear, then I need to look at strength, right? I need to sell strength. So, these upper levels again at VWAP, maybe this area of consolidation here around 19,815 could offer me a couple of locations where I can manage my risk and participate in a further move to the downside. Okay. All right. What else? We'll go ahead and I think that's it for NASDAQ. Let's go ahead and move on to the ES. Yeah, maybe at the tail end, Robert, we'll take a peek at silver. Okay. All right. So since we are a bit ahead of schedule today, I guess, so given the preparation I did here with these charts. So, all right, let's remove some of these things here and then ask ourselves the same question that we asked ourselves of every market, right? We start off with a daily. Okay. So we're going to head move on to the daily chart. Okay. Look at the daily chart and ask ourselves the question, well, what is the market trying to accomplish? Well, the market is trying to accomplish moving lower here. Now, we have already identified an area of demand. What makes this demand? Well, we have this consolidation area, and we had price move away from it. Now we're back to the same level. Okay, the expectation is whoever this person or institutions that push price to the upside is probably interested at these same levels. Okay. So this area right here, okay, until it's broken, seems like a solid buy zone. Okay. Until it's broken to the downside. Now, the question is, we have some bearish structure heading into it. Okay. But nonetheless, we have evidence here that it could be an area of support. All right. So market looking bearish, coming into an area of demand for our chart. Okay. For our chart, same kind of feeling. Okay. We do again, like I don't know what caused the gap, right? But we do have a gap to the downside. Okay. You guys see the gap, right? We have a gap open to the downside. Right? Gap open to the downside. That tells us that there is some, good pressure here for prices, further prices to the downside. Okay. Structure. Okay. Again, we have lower highs, right? Lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. We had a new high. Okay. But that was met with some, pretty significant resistance, right? So again, we're starting to break some structure to the downside. Again, the only thing that's really kind of causing me a little bit of concern here is that we're headed into a area of support. So I would love to see price come back to maybe fill in this gap and maybe participate in a continuation trade. Right? Google earnings, possibly. I don't know. I don't know what caused this gap here. Okay. Right. But there is a obvious gap in this. I don't know what the cause of it. I don't believe it's rollover. Right. I don't think we're rolling over to any new contract. Okay. So this is of significance. Okay. Moving on to the 30-minute chart. Okay. So let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. Okay. 30-minute chart. We'll start to, possibly any of those could be the cause for this. All I know is that there is a gap. right? Now this gap eventually is going to get filled. Okay. Okay. But until then, then the idea here is that there's a fair amount of selling pressure in the market. Okay. All right. So I've already drawn in my volume profile. This area here is my point of control. The reason I'm drawing these lines, guys, is so that I have a clear way of identifying these levels on the right. You see how they pop out here? Okay. I don't have to kind of guess or whatever to arrive at what these levels are, right? I just look over to the right and I can see them. And then I could even entertain the possibility of doing away with some of these images and just keeping the lines, right? And if I color code them in an appropriate way, it declutters. I'm really big on decluttering my charts as much as I can, right? I don't want to be confused with what action I need to take here. Okay, so let's start by looking at the average. Let's see the average session range, because those are the ones that often change on me. So we have here to the upside, we have 56. Yeah, so average session range high, that seems to be accurate. Average session range low is also at a level 55, 55, 85. That looks about right as well. Okay, so nothing here appears, at least for now, that needs to be modified. Okay, so similar story that we saw on the NASDAQ. We have a gap down and we have price below value. Bears are very much in control of this market. Okay. Now, if I want to participate in this bearish move, well, I need to look at a strength. Okay. Just like I mentioned before, VWAP 5560 would be a logical area to participate in a potential short. If we start to break structure to the upside, this area here, this average session range low, could offer me some resistance. Notice how we broke, got back to this level and sold off. This area could still be resistant. So the bottom end, 55, 78, 50, could offer us some selling opportunities in the market. Value area low, okay, at 5603, 50 could offer us another location. If I have more of a bullish view, which is hard to imagine given what we've done on the on our analysis so far, this seems like a logical area right now. We're at a level of support. But the thing is, my expectations on how far this can move need to be muted, right? We are in a market structure that's looking lower. Okay. So if we want to take an up, maybe say an opportunity, maybe back up to the lower end of ASR, okay, maybe back to VWAP, and assuming that we get a bullish candle here, then that seems kind of a reasonable expectation for a bullish trade. Okay. Can't expect that it's going to traverse the entire range here. We're bound to hit somebody who's open or interested in taking and stepping in and taking this market short. Okay. So, all right. I think, so yeah. So both for both the equities and NQ and ES, again, looking for bearish opportunities. All right. Is kind of the mode of operandi or mode of best path moving forward. Okay. All right. Let's see. Now we had a request for silver. Let's take a look at some of these other markets. We do have RBOB and we do have platinum, which is our correlated markets. So we'll take a peek at those first. I'm going to peek to see if there's any questions on what we discussed as far as ES. I don't see it, so we're going to go ahead and move on. So first thing that we're going to take a look at is RBOB. Well, actually, let's take a look at platinum since it's been open a bit longer. We'll look at the continuous contract here. Okay. So we'll go ahead and leave this to the side here. We'll take a quick peek. We'll take a quick peek at the daily and see what direction it's trying to go here. Okay. So similar, kind of, so we, of late, we've been trying to head lower. We've reached an area of support. Okay. And now we're developing a candle here that would indicate that, okay, that there are some buyers here at 956, 955 level, okay, in the platinum. All right. For our chart, okay, for our chart, also giving us a very solid, bullish bar. Okay, we met with support here, and then that was met with a follow up bearish bar. Okay, the moment we got this bar, it was met with a bunch of sellers. Okay, you're welcome, Frizu. All right, was met with a bunch of sellers. Okay, so that kind of begs the question: do the buyers have the resources to continue to make this move to the upside? Okay, all right, 30-minute chart. You welcome, Silov Durien, I think is the appropriate phrase there. 30 minutes. Okay, so looking at the 30-minute chart, okay, we have already established our ASR, actually our ASR zones here. Okay, so we have here 980.2. Okay, this is this number here, the run on the right, 980.2. Okay, and then we have the low end is looks like 962.5. 962.5. Okay, this is ASR. All right, we're going to go ahead and open ADR. Okay, ADR, we're already on the top end of that ADR zone. Okay, so ADR here, it appears to look to me that it's 971 top side. Okay, this is ADR. We have average daily range and we have average session range. Average daily range is independent of session, whether it's Asia, London, or New York. And average session range is this, in this case, New York to New York comparison. Okay, so let's locate our average low here, 942.3. 942.3 is our 42.3 is our average daily range low. We're going to go ahead and open up settlement. Settlement is down here at looks like 955.8. Okay, 955.8. Okay, so let's see what else. The only other thing I want to draw here is our fixed range volume profile. I'm going to go ahead and locate the 830 bar, drag that across to the 1330 bar. Okay, so that's our value area range. Okay, so once we broke, so we broke value here from yesterday and have not looked back here. Okay, I'm not going to capture, I'll call out these numbers. Okay, I'm not going to capture it in the text window, but I'm going to call out these value area zones. Okay, I'm not going to type them, but I'm going to call them out. Okay, so 959.1 value area high, 953.8 value area low. So if the market were to come back to 959.9, well, we have a couple of areas here, ASR plus value area high, that could offer us the opportunity for a nice long. Not really interested in a long at these levels above. I'm coming off of ADR. Okay, this would be kind of a relatively expensive long. Okay, we would be better served with a short. Okay, in this market, maybe taking us back to VWAP, maybe as low as ASR, maybe as low as value area high. Okay, so that's kind of what I have in the platinum market. We'll take a look at RBOB and then we'll close out with silver here. Okay, so RBOB, okay, is gasoline futures. Okay, so we're just going to take a quick look at the daily. Daily and the 4-hour, ask the question, well, what is the market trying to accomplish? Well, the market is trying to accomplish to head lower here. Okay, you can see that we made some lower highs and lower lows in this market. You can see the arrow pointing in the direction of where the market is trying to go. Now we are coming into an area of demand. Okay, so that could cause the market to kind of bounce away from. Okay, But the market nonetheless on the daily market structure is to the downside. 4-hour chart, similar kind of vein here. You can see my trend line, okay, that I drew with my arrow here is to the downside. Okay, there isn't anything here that indicates that we are in any sort of bullish structure. Okay, 30-minute chart. Okay, now we'll do a little bit of an examination here on some of these numbers. Okay, so we're going to stretch this out here a bit. All right, so we're up against VWAP at the moment. All right, which could lead to maybe how we say a reaction. All right, this would be a nice logical location to participate in a continuation trade, assuming that we get the bullish candle to support this potential 3-bar reversal. Okay. All right. So let's start with the fixed range volume profile. Since we're RBOB, this opens up at 9 a.m. Drag that across to 13:30. Okay. So there's our volume profile. Okay. We can see here that we have value area high. Notice the reaction away from value area high. I'm going to go ahead and draw this in blue. All right. So this is at a nice location to participate in a potential long. If price were to close back inside value, like here, then we could experience a full rotation of value back down to settlement. That's kind of the logical path. Okay. So let's start capturing some of these levels. Okay. So we have ADR high, ADR. Okay, ADR high here. Okay, so what is ADR high? So ADR high is okay. So ADR high. Let's see. Sorry, it's not the one I was looking for. Okay, so ADR high. This number right here. 242.16. Okay, $2.42.16. Okay, is ADR high. Let's go ahead and open up ASR. We have 242.28. That's ASR high. Okay, ADR low. Okay, is what is that? 237.28. That's our ADR low. 237.8. Okay, and then ASR is 238.33. Okay, and then settlement price is, let's look over here to the right, is 237. 237 is settlement. 237.90. Is that 97? 97 looks like. Let's see. Yeah, 237.60. Okay, is what I'm seeing as far as settlement goes. Okay, so I've already identified this value area high. Again, if this structure is going to hold true, then one, I don't want to see it close below value, and two, I don't want price to get inside value, because again, we open up the opportunity here for a move through value. All right. So that's a scenario there, right? So if we do close inside this, then we could fall down to there, maybe as low as settlement price. If this area holds, this could offer us a bounce point for a move up, okay, in the market, okay? So it'll be interesting to see how this 30-minute candle closes, whether it closes below VWAP, and then whether we start to creep into inside value, then that could open up a value area acceptance trade all the way to the opposite end of value, okay? All right. I think that's all I want to say for RBOB. So let's close out this session with a review of of silver. I don't know who made that request earlier. Let's see if he's still in the market. Robert, are you still around? Colin Hall Roberts. Okay, perfect. All right. So can you tell me, Robert, this is not an instrument, but is it what contract is silver? Okay, we'll just go with the continuous contract. Okay, got it. All right. So looking at the daily chart. All right. So daily chart. Again, we ask the questions always. We always ask ourselves. Let's go ahead and turn off some of these levels. We ask ourselves the question: what is the market trying to accomplish? Well, again, if I just looked at just this right here, I think everybody would agree that the market was trying to get, excuse me, guys, trying to get lower. All right. Right. No doubt about that. Right. Now, if I provide myself a little bit more context, well, I've come into an area of what? I've come into an area of demand. So what can I expect from this point forward? Well, I could expect this kind of move, couldn't I? Right? If I'm in a range, this would be a logical location for that to happen. Now, if I start breaking some further structure to the downside, right? That is just going to give me more evidence that I'm in a bearish. I'm already in a bearish structure, but it's going to give me more evidence that this market can continue lower. Okay. Right now we're in an area of demand. Okay. In an area where we have reversed in the past. Okay. So I have to kind of lean a little bit to maybe a bullish move, right? If anything else, it's a relatively I don't know. I don't know if cheap is the right word. Okay, because nothing's cheap. Everything is kind of fairly priced, but it is an area that I would potentially entertain along here. Right? It's a logical location. Don't have to take all that much in the way of risk to potentially participate in the long at these levels. Okay, for our chart. Okay, for our chart, we're starting to see a series, okay, of higher highs and higher lows, right? We've broken some structure here to the upside. We are seeing some wicks here, okay, indicating that there are sellers still very much in this market, okay? Wick, 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 right? Not a lot of strength as we power through some of these resistance levels, okay? So structure remains that lower, right? First indication, and I'm not even sure that we've broken it, we are making attempts to get higher. Okay. We have yet to definitively close. I say close, I say definitively, right? When I say definitively, I need a candle with little to no wicks. All right. So we have yet to get a definitive candle that's telling the world that, yes, we mean business and we want to take this market higher. Okay. All right. 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart. Here we are. We're coming off of settlement. All right. We had a nice bounce off the settlement price here. Would have made for a nice location for an entry for a long. Okay. We've come down to VWAP. We've reacted away from it. But let's before we get into that too much, let's open up our fixed range volume profile. I suspect that silver opens at the same time as gold. So I'm going to use the 830 bar here, drag that across to the 1330 bar, basically the New York session here, and wait for the volume profile to be drawn here. Okay, so here we are, volume profile. You can see that we're well above it. Okay, we're in a market that's looking to head higher, right? We are prices above value area high. It's above settlement price, and it's above VWAP. All indications that price could continue higher in the silver. I'm going to go ahead and open up ADR. Okay, so that ADR level here, I'm not going to open up a text window, but I will call out a level. All right, so this level here, 29,855. This is a statistical high that the market can go. Okay, You can see here, these are the ranges that have been defined for this market. Okay. This would be a statistical high. The average range for silver is from here to here. Okay. If this move continues, this would be a logical level that, where price could potentially stall. Okay. Average session range. Okay. So this is average daily. Okay. Which we don't really pay much attention to any of the sessions. And then this is session based, specifically New York. Okay. So this would be the logical level here at, say, 29,735 could be a logical level for this market to head to. Okay. So yeah. So I think, let's see, anything else I should be calling out here? I am going to go ahead and open up initial balance. Okay. So this is the initial balance range. All right. So yeah, I would be interested in, opportunities to the downside here, not opportunities to the upside, but I want to be at a level where I can manage my risk. So we had a level here, came off the bottom end of the VWAP, one of the standard deviation ranges. And if I'm interested in the longs, right, this would be a location, and then the desire would be that I would like to see a new high, right? I'd like to see price structure continue, and then it would open up that maybe this level here would be our target. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing in the silver. It looks like silver is looking. We should be looking for some opportunities to the long side. And specifically, we should be looking for some locations to support that. Okay. VWAP looks like is reactive. I'm kind of inclined here to draw a anchor VWAP from this location here. Okay. So that would be a logical location right around settlement price for a logical reference level for me to want to participate in a potential long in this market. Okay. So so yeah, I think that's pretty much, Robert, what I have for silver. Silver looks like it wants to head higher. The only question is where do I participate, where I can reasonably manage my risk? Okay. Questions? You're welcome. You're welcome, Robert. I think with that, once I got the confirmation there, guys, we'll go ahead and close off the session with our usual close here. Trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. Again, guys, if you are, I guess, liked what the content that I provided, don't hesitate to comment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to be notified of future sessions along these kind of lines. Okay. Have an excellent day trading, guys, and I'll see you guys either in the coaches room or in group coaching later this afternoon. We have group coaching at 6 p.m. Daily, except for Fridays. Okay. So Monday through Thursday, we have group coaching at 6 p.m. And yeah, and then we have our normal sessions every morning pre-market. All right. Have a good day trading, guys. Trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. All right, Sepadia. Have a good day. You're welcome.